G'day everyone, I'm Smokescreen and welcome back to another video. So we've got a bit of a different video today, so we will go back over this, so just have a look. If you already know what it is, we will go back over it. So this is the paid DLC that was added for Gran Turismo Sport. Now obviously, it's a good challenge, you know. I think it's worth every amount that you pay. So I think it's $11.95, so that's Australian dollars, obviously, in case you couldn't tell by my accent. $11.95 from the PlayStation Store, and it gets added into, I think it is campaign mode, up the top, campaign, and then it's down the bottom, Lewis Hamilton Time Trial Challenge. So that's what it's called, the Lewis Hamilton Time Trial Challenge. So basically, Lewis Hamilton, the Formula 1 champion, like 6-time champion or something, set a bunch of times on certain tracks, and it's basically our job to beat him. And the ghost that you saw at the start of the lap, that was him. So what you can do, you go into it and you can turn his ghost on or off, and you can also offset the ghost. So you can have him like at the start of the lap, you can have the ghost 0.1 of a second in front of you, and then you can see what he does. So that's why he comes up as a head. Now, I'm going to do these videos, but only if I beat the time. So I'm not going to, put up a video of a subpar lap. Now, admittedly, all my laps are going to be subpar, but as far as I'm concerned, if you beat his time, that is good enough. Now, the track here, Dragon Trail Seaside, and the car is the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3. It is the non-BoP, so just the stock 613 horsepower machine, very understeery. So we're just going to slow it down now and take a nice slow look at the entire lap now. Hopefully this is interesting enough for a video. So you can use this as a lap guide. It is mainly just me talking through how I did it now. So even turn 1, the little kink in the straight, you want to just take your classic late apex racing line to give you a nice line for turn 2, braking just after the 150 board. And we're just going down into second gear, trailing it into turn 2, and then we're climbing that curb, short shifting up to third, riding that curb, just let it coast to get a little bit of rotation so we get on the power nicely, climb up that exit curb, and then we hop over the curb of turn 4. And you see we're actually ahead, and we turn off the ghost at this point, because once the ghost gets too close to me, I feel like it's a distraction. Turn 5 now, turn in nice and early, little bit of a lift on the way in just because the car is understeering, braking just as we pass under that shadow, straight down into second gear, trailing it in, half the car up onto the apex curb, and then nice gradually on the power. Use a little bit of oversteer to get that final bit of rotation, but you want to straighten it up as quickly as possible. You don't want to over rotate through turn 6 down the hill. Keep it over to the left hand side and then move it over to the right hand side as we go through turn 7, classic late apex. We're going to turn in just after the end of the barrier on the right hand side into 4th gear. Now I actually did look at the speedo here. We want to keep it above at least 170 k's an hour through there, and then we get a nice line for turn 9, and then we don't want to go all the way over to the left because we want to make turn 10 flat out, and we're going to use all of the available road here. We're right up on top of that curb for as long as it exists, and then we get back down for turn 11. So once again, all the little kinks, you want to take a late apex kind of line because most of the corners following are in the opposite direction. Braking just after the start of the curb for turn 12, trailing it in second gear, just under 100 k's an hour on the apex there, and then once again very gradually on the power. I do want the rear wheels to disconnect from the road a little bit to get that final bit of rotation, just because this particular tune is very understeery. We're 2/10 up at this point, so I'm going to be conservative for the rest of the lap here. Chicane now, flat out through turn 13, a little bit of a lift through turn 14. We want to get it lined up for the second half of the chicane. Now you want to connect turns 14 and 15, basically just run as close to the walls as possible. That just requires practice. Probably took me an hour of continuous lapping to get this. So we are losing time at this point. We're still 1.5 tenths up at this stage here. Keep it nice and close to the left hand side just follow the curve there. And where are we braking? Just between the 150 and 100 meter board, so 125 meters. Third gear, we actually go slightly deep here, but we trail it and manage to bring it back for a late apex. On the power slightly early, playing with the throttle a little bit, but we get an excellent exit out of there because we overslowed the car before the apex. And now running up towards the line, the gap down the bottom, we're actually 0.15 seconds up. Come back to real time and it just flicks over to
wow.
basically what's that, 5 or 6 thousandths of a second. Oh, hang on, what's it, 0.94? Yeah, 7 1,000ths of a second quicker, but that is that was the lap guide for the Lewis Hamilton Time Trial Challenge. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. There are many others, so I think there's like 10 different circuits or something. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but you can have a look down in the description for those. I'll list them down there. There's also lots of other interesting stuff down there if you'd like to have a look at that. But yeah, so that's my attempt at that exact one. I did, at this stage, I have beat his time at Monza. That is another track, and that will be coming, but I think it will be as a replay because I forgot to save the footage of me actually doing it. Hopefully I saved the replay. I don't remember if I did. I'll keep you updated. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this one today. I do hope this was useful for you, and I do hope you can use it to help beat Mr. Hamilton himself. So that's going to be it from this video today, and that means that is it from me. So once again, I do thank you very much for watching. See you later.